Now we have a new contribution for this panel. It's going to be a registered contribution and a translated contribution by MP Irene Tinagli, a member of the European Parliament and chair of the Committee on Economic and Monetary Affairs. It's going to be on de-globalization and its effect on collaboration and international competition.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for the opportunity of joining you in this very interesting debate. I would like to apologize for not being able to be with you in person, but it's been a very, very busy week in Strasbourg. But still, I would like to take the opportunity for sharing my contribution and my thoughts on such an important issue such as deglobalization. I believe this is truly one of the most relevant topics that's going to and already is impacting and affecting the future economy of our continent, and probably much more than just the economy. The process that we refer to as de-globalization dates back to the pandemic, which led to a complete halt of all the economic transactions and trades on an international level, and which was followed by, instead of an improvement to be achieved and to be reached due to the end of the pandemic season, the situation actually got worse due to the war and the geopolitical tensions that we are still facing today. And I believe that one of the key questions to ask and to try to find an answer for is this tendency actually moving towards a resolution? Is it coming to an end? Or are we actually moving towards a situation where the various individual states are, in a way, feeding this process even further and making the issue of deglobalization even deeper than it already was, with initiatives such as duties on import, for example, and a number of other initiatives that are being implemented by a number of different states and countries around the world. I would like to stress that this issue and this topic is particularly important and relevant for the European continent. Europe has historically been one of the most open continents, if not the most open continents, to international trade and commerce, both as an exporter, for example, of finished goods or food, as well as an importer, for example, of raw material or energy. Because of our role and the situation that we have been experiencing for a very long time now, this makes deglobalization a very, very relevant topic to be dealt with by Europe as a continent, as well as by the individual states. And we all have to be extremely careful today more than ever, given the international scenario that I mentioned before. We are a very exposed continent to the potential consequences of deglobalization. And deglobalization today is strongly intertwined with geopolitical issues that have been taking place simultaneously. And this leads us to a situation where our long-established geopolitical alliances on one hand might in fact conflict with our commercial alliances on the other hand, such as the geopolitical alliance with the United States and our long-term cooperation on defense, as opposed to, for example, our trade relationships with countries like China, which have been increasing and have increased remarkably over the years. And with the rise of geopolitical tensions throughout the world, these two forms of alliances might put Europe in a very, very delicate situation that needs to be further analyzed. EU should clearly develop a more autonomous and stronger role in the international politics and on the global scenario in general, which is unfortunately a situation that we have not reached yet. that we still need to work towards achieving, where we don't occupy the relevant role that we should be playing on the international scenario at this point. We need to be very diplomatic and very smart, therefore, to keep both kind of alliances that I mentioned before in place and make sure we can profit from both, especially because as certified by the most recent data made available from the European Commission, our economy as a continent is actually slowing down, and the process of deglobalization could have very, very relevant consequences for our continent in light of these data and these trends. I will leave you with that. I have no secret recipe to share with you other than hard work and seriously trying to use the upcoming months and years to try to strengthen the political relevance of Europe on the global scenario. And this is exactly what we've been trying to work on and trying to achieve here in Strasbourg. And we really hope we're heading in the right direction. Thanks again for the opportunity, and I wish you all a great forum.